Hello everybody, welcome to Cat and Beats, and happy Thursday again. It's another session that's coming up in a bit where Past Guido is going to mix the drums and the drum bus and do the drum bus compression, set up the sends, and get the drums to sound a little bit more coherent together so it fits in the mix. Let's have a little before and after, and then we will go and cut to previous Guido. Me and the past Guido. Anyway, let's have a listen to how it sounded before. And now it sounds like. And if you've been paying attention, every single intro, I'm actually kind of altering the mix a little bit, because every single time I go back to this track, I go like, maybe I should do a little bit, maybe I should do a little bit. So yeah, anyway, that's the track. I hope you like it, and I hope you like the whole series as it's coming together. Make sure to click the little notification bell so you get the notification that I've uploaded another one. And I think I'm going to be doing this all the time. So I'll be mixing one of your tracks in the future, hopefully, and I'll make another series online. And then that time I will only use Waves plugins or only use Neutron or something like that, just to make things interesting. Anyway, peace out, have a lovely day, and see you next Thursday. We are stuck with this percussion loop. I don't like that the bell is on the left ear. And if somebody would listen to this on headphones, they would be like, nah, like they'll listen like this, you know, because that bell is like, wah! Like just killing you. So I'm going to do some trickery. And what is this? This is a return track, and this is going in there. Okay. Let's just disable the send for this one. Disable send, and what is this? Okay, cool. So, oh man, that is really loud. Anyway, let's first get rid, and what is all this? Sorry, I need to also check every single time all the automation so I know what is what. Move that over there. Let's do the EQing, so get rid of the low end as well. Let's check how it sounds in mono. Same test over and over and over. Okay, that's not too bad, but let's just get rid of this. Now, let's take the, let's turn this into a mono channel. This. Take a utility, click mono, and then after that, we'll click the auto pan. So we do respect the creative decision of Jose. I still don't know if I'm saying that correct. And we'll take an auto pan, and we will put it on a, I don't know, 4-bar rate, move it around, and now we have a little bit more control, so that ding doesn't only exist in my left ear, it just kind of moves around a bit. But let's figure out where that's because this thing that tuk is like this snare that kind of makes the whole groove. So let's just find, why would you turn that down? Let's turn this the other way. Let's turn that up. Put the Q up a little bit. You can do that as well by holding down Alt, and then you can widen and narrow the Q. Okay, cool. Let's try and find that sound and just kind of delete it. So let's just open this up a little bit bigger. Yeah, you can click that and then boom. All right. You can also see it right there. It's like 1, 2, Basically, it's the strongest right there. So just move it there. And we'll change number 6 to this peculiar little shape, and it will, bam, cut it completely. And then we can take the Q and just pull it up, and then we make a really nice little cut to just kind of cut those top harmonics to kill that sound. And let's just move it a little bit over to the left on the frequency knob. Oh my god. Okay, hold down shift and then you can move it low. Do you hear how nice it is? Your eardrums, okay. There we go. Okay, great. Let's not do that with a notch. Let's do that with a bell instead, but bring it down. And then we can not, you know, put like a killing it completely type sound, but we can only put it down like -8 dB, which is already a lot. Okay, there's 2 of them. There's one ding, and then there's another one which is being completely ducked. Okay, whatever. We'll leave one beep in there and the other beep to get out. Then I really don't like the sound too much, so I'm just going to, and this might be weird, I'm going to chorus the drums out a little bit. And some of you are probably going like, what? But it works because it's, I don't want these drums to come out. I want them kind of in the back. Let's, by the way, check this in mono. Okay, now let's stereo chorus it. You can immediately hear the chorus effect. So we're gonna just take that down a little bit until you can't really hear it in mono, because then you won't get too much of a negative chorus. And now on the stereo, we will have a nice widened percussion, because I want my kick and the snare really to smack you in the head, and then the percussion to just kind of be on the left and right of it. And we are really good at getting rid of only that one frequency. Let me just open this up a little bit. I want that first one away as well. It's just driving me nuts. Oh man. Okay, I'll fix that later off camera because it's going to take a while. Anyway, let's also reverb it on the track itself. Normally I would reverb this on the send so that you keep the initial transients, but with this one I just don't want to have that many transients. And one way to put something in the back is to put the pre-delay on as fast as possible. High cut, just leave it there. Quality, put it on high. And then we can change the decay time. It's not too much decay, and we can use the dry and wet to kind of put these percussions over there somewhere, because I don't want to hear that so much. It's almost as if there's some sort of compression going on overall somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Okay. Anyway, we have this percussion loop. Now it's all good and Gucci. Let's set some sends over for the cloink and the cowbell. So we're going to enable the sends again. Enable all sends. Thank you. And we're going to enable all sends. What is this again? This is not doing it. Okay, great. And then we have this. This is enable all sends again. Okay, we can delete this. You know what I can do? I can make this an effects reverb. Yeah, let's set up a send, and I'm going to make this the effects reverb because obviously he wanted to put some type of effect. Actually, is it even on? Yes, it is. Okay, great. We're going to make an effects reverb for this one, so make effects reverb, and I have to make it here. I'm just going to write that down. Add locator, make effects reverb, check. Okay, good. Now, I'm just going to disable this send, and we're going to set up a new send. And the way you do that is with Command-Alt-T or Control-Alt-T, and click on your return tracks. And now we have this return track called E. Let's call that reverb instead. And set a reverb in there. Hello, there we go. Very nice. Let's put up the high quality, dry wet, fully wet, pre-delay. I don't know. I don't think we need it. Decay time, you can set this according to the beats per minute, which are 120, or you can use your ears. And what I want is for that snare drum to go, gah, gah, so to be one bar. So it's like, cla 2 3 4 and cla 2 3 4 and cla 2, you know. So let's just set the decay time to, I don't know, 120, 122. I'm going to take this down, take that down, and use the decay time here. Oopsie. Let's turn this off for a second because it's annoying. I already think that sounds quite nice. I like to, okay, with the import processing, you can say how, you know, you're gonna put something in, and you can normally, like, as in, like, the sound comes in from my face over to that way. And normally a reverb, you don't really want your reverb to be overly bright unless, you know, your mix is extremely dull. But seeing I'm in complete control, I want my reverb to be a little bit dark. Because I think it'll sound quite sexy at the end of the day. And I think this, it sounds good. Let's put the cowbell in there as well. I'm gonna massively use reverb in this mix, by the way. The cowbell gets a lot less because I like a reverbed out clunk. Clunk. Let's check out the this percussion track. Put it in. That already has reverb on it. I don't think it needs to have another reverb. So that's my first send. And also my philosophy on sends is pretty... Oh my god, it's snowing outside. Holy shit. Sorry. There's a window there. And I'm just like, normally when I'm in a mastering room, I never get to see a window. But because I built this studio with the help of John Brandt, I specifically said, I need a window. And he's like, the only place you can have a window is in front of you. No other place. I'm like, okay, but I have to have a window. So I have a window, and it started snowing outside. And that's amazing. Anyway, makes me really happy. Check out John Brandt if you need a studio built, by the way. Or you need to build. You build it yourself. He just makes the plans exactly. So it's like an IKEA build plan. Anyway, I liked using return tracks because when I can give shared harmonics to a track, so if I have one reverb to kind of do a lot of the reverbs for the whole track, then I can shape that reverb later on in the mix to kind of add in some filterage or some sexy top end or some low end. And the more I have one reverb, pretty much, the more it's going to be a shared harmonic. So the more the instruments are going to sound like they were all recorded in one place, pretending that I was actually in a grand studio with another studio over there where I recorded all these instruments. Basically, it gets everything shared. Just another tip on that. Imagine if you had one guitarist with massive amounts of reverb and it sounds like he's in a church, and a drummer that's actually in a basement, and then a vocalist that's in a parking garage. Your brain is going to be like, yeah, I'm not really sure about this, because it's just going to sound like one gigantic mess. So use one reverb, set that up nice, and set your decay time to how you feel it should be done. All right. Let's set up the next one. In the same philosophy, let's set up some saturation. We're going to set up saturation. And for that, anything that distorts, so overdrive, pedal, amps, any of those things will really work. And my favorite one is an amp, because amping it kind of just gets your sound kind of crispy. And I like using the Blues amp because it kind of just gets this crispy sound. So make sure you put your output to dual if you want to do this kind of stuff. You can also, of course, try the new pedal, but I've already looked at it and it is really good, but it's not good for my purpose. So we have saturation set up here. I'm going to turn the return tracks off, and we're going to just see what needs to pop out of these drums in the front. I would like the cowbell to pop into the front. Let's check it in mono, because in mono, it's a lot easier to see if the volume levels are right. Okay, let's set the saturation on this one. All right, nice. And a little bit on this as well. All right, great. Let's check that in there we go. Let's set that in the stereo field as well now. So turn off number 4, whoop, like that. And now let's turn the saturation on off, see if we like it. And let's compensate. And a little rule that somebody taught me about compensating, or not compensating, about buy a big car. No, a little rule that somebody taught me about dB, setting your dBs right. -1 dB, most likely you're not going to hear the difference unless you're in a very nice studio. -2 dB, you can tell that it's a little bit softer. -3 dB is definitely a little bit softer. -5 dB it's definitely softer. Okay, so try that out in increments of, -2, -3, and -5. And if you start noticing that 0.5 of a dB makes a difference, either you're in a really nice room and you've been mixing and mastering for a very long time, or you're just very tired. So then I would say do that again the next day and see if that makes a difference. Anyway, so compensated with -2 dB was just a little bit too loud, so it just kind of like, a little bit softer now. Okay, great. I'm going to leave those alone. The send tracks are set for me now, but I'm going to also do a little bit of a trick. I'm going to do that with Command T. And for those of you who've already seen other tutorials I've made on mixing and mastering, you know that I like making a drum bus, that I send my reverb into that drum bus, and then this drum bus will start compressing with that reverb, and it just gets this kind of sucky but not sucky feel, and it just, I don't know, it becomes more alive. Sometimes it really works for music genres. I don't know about this particular track, but I'm going to set up anyway to make sure that it's just there. So turn on your I/O for that. Your drum bus, you make that via Command T or Control T, then you make an audio option. Then you click on your I/O and you go to drum bus. This is also where I wrote that in capital letters, and R to rename things. And this drum bus is going to the master. We're going to click on in. And the send of this reverb, we're going to send that into that drum bus as well. And then the drums are always going to be this like force to be reckoned with. And we're going to do that with the glue compressor. And the glue compressor is going to be my volume knob. Let me just check if I'm on schedule. Yeah, kind of. Didn't really do this. Didn't really write that part down. With the glue compressor, there's going to be the volume knob. So think of it as this. Basically, again, from my face, the sound goes in. And this is basically a DJ guy that just makes the volume go up and down and makes instead of you can make it bounce. So I like using the glue compressor because it's just easy to use. Attack time, slow. Release time, fast. Ratio, 2-to-1 for me works. You can also try 10-to-1 or 4-to-1, whatever you like. But for me, 2-to-1 on the glue compressor, it just kind of works. Now, the bass drum here is quite... And I know that there's going to be a heavy, long-winded legato bass in here. So I would like to have this bass drum shortened a bit. If you had a short kick drum and you want to keep your low end, make sure to click on EQ here and click on this button, because then you only start doing the top end of your track. But let's just see if we need that now or not. I don't know yet because I haven't done this. I'm doing this with you guys. Yeah, so we're really just compressing the low end there. So I'm going to put this on. Let's see if this is any better. So I just put the makeup gain on and then... I don't know. I'm gonna just leave this for later because I don't know if I need these drums to be pokey or not. So I'm not gonna compress something just for the sake of compressing something. It makes no sense. So these are the sends that I usually use, but we have some more sends that we can use as well. Normally what I do is use a little bit of a ping pong delay, but now we also have echo. So let's just use echo, and we can kind of, with the echo, kind of make a cool little backwards and forwards type of motion for the percussion. So echo, put that on there. And on modulation, on here, I'm going to click on ping pong because I like it left and right. Let's put the dry wet fully on. I haven't used this bad boy yet, so give me a second. Let's put the cloink on there, and let's just see what that does. Okay, great. So it's going back and forth. That's nice. Let's get a sidechain on that so that it becomes more tight with the group itself. Sidechain. I use glue compressor for everything, by the way. So sidechain. Let's use the replacement kick there. Let's press some reverb on that. Can we, one second, let me figure this out. Can we do the character? No, that's, the one thing I really liked about, ooh, look, we have a filter. I was looking for a filter. So let's just turn this down so that it's like, instead of like, okay. Okay, now let's just disable all the sends, and then you can hear the difference in the snare drum before and after. Let's turn them on. Great. So I'm going to leave that at that as is because I probably will do more later on. And let's just turn these things into red. Just check what this is. Okay, this is nothing. Sorry. I still need to clean up. This is a delay track. This is... Ooh, okay. We'll get to that later. So in the next next part, we're going to be doing the bass, and I have some nice trickery for that as well. Make sure to tell a friend who's interested in mixing and mastering completely in the box and doing it completely with Ableton Live 10. It's something new for me as well, so hopefully it's something new for you too, and it's quite nice to do. Make sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment if you have any questions. I would love to write you guys back. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love. Have a great, well, Tuesday.